everybody, it's Mike the Baldadonis. Boom! Hey guys, it's been 2 weeks since I talked about my prison stories, so we're on episode number three, and the last time I left off as I got arrested. So I get arrested. Oh, let's do a recap. Part one, I buy into a repair shop only to drive across the United States and get stranded in Arizona. I then fly back home, meet up with a drug dealer, just a small time drug dealer, to get me rolling. And next thing you know, I become a small drug dealer myself and climbed the ladder, and I was very busy and I was doing very well for myself. Not, crazy, but for somebody that didn't have any money, I was rolling pretty good. And shall we say, things caught up to me after 8 months. I got set up because otherwise I may have gone to jail or got arrested sooner or later, but not for the amount that I was set up for. I got set up for 4.5 ounces, which is over 100 grams. And back then they were setting people up for 100 grams plus, so you can do a 10-year mandatory sentence. Otherwise, I was just selling little packages of $50, $80, and $100. So, what are you gonna arrest me for? Something small? That's what they were hoping. Well, not with me. I just happened to have somebody that was a friend. He hooked me up with another friend that set me up for all that amount of cocaine, and next thing you know, I'm in a big heap of trouble. So, part three. I sit there in front of the judge, only for about a few minutes. Bail's at $100,000. I don't have $100,000. The court-appointed attorney was able to get it down to $50,000. And after that, I was shipped to Nashua Street Jail in Boston. And my life changed dramatically. So, I am seeing my girlfriend at the time. Her name was Maria. And, it was just, I don't know if is it a surreal moment? I guess it is, because your life just changed within a few minutes to a few hours, and you're like, what's going on? And I'm facing 10 years mandatory sentence of prison. Now, I don't have any money. I have a little bit of money. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like a little bit of money, because I was making money that was spending money foolishly because I'm 20 years old, 21 years old, having a good time. So I had a few cars that were at the time worth a little bit of money. So when I get arrested, my bail's at $50,000. Fine. This is a Monday. I got arrested on Tuesday. I'm in Nashua Street Jail, and this is 2 days before Thanksgiving. Now, my parents can't do nothing for me because my mom just had surgery for having 2 brain tumors removed from her head. Nice, huh? Yeah. So my family's, get to deal with my mom. So there's no help going on there. After getting that court-appointed attorney, I had to find a real attorney. So I had friends, looking around, and I found a very successful drug or criminal lawyer. His name is John McBride. And I'm gonna get to him in a minute, because I was gonna show what he looked like and all that stuff, and I found an interesting story about him. But we'll get to that in a few minutes. So, dilemma time. What am I gonna do? Now, let's picture Nashua Street, 1990. At this time, it's brand new. So single cells, no roommates, nice and clean, nothing, the thing's brand new, you know what I mean? So that was the plus side. Now, when we have visitors, we had, I believe there were either 3 or 4 rooms, but it wasn't cellmate each, it was a private room with the glass and the person behind it. That was my visits. My girlfriend at the time, she would visit me a few times, a couple of my friends, this and that. You know, the severity hasn't really kicked in yet. You know what I mean? It's there because I'm so confused. Now, in 1990, we have a Gulf War going on. Some of my friends are in Iraq. So I think most of us was concerned about the news at the time and what was going on. So anyways, I don't have $50,000. I have to wait for another bail reduction next month. I had to go through 3 bail reductions. The second one was at $25,000. The third one was $10,000. And then finally, at $5,000, they kicked me out. But while I was waiting in jail for 3 months, in this particular jail just happened to be near the Museum of Science, right across the street. The Boston Garden was right behind me. Fenway Park, down the road. And every time I went to court, you lose your cell because you didn't know if you were coming back, because you might get out on bail, you know what I mean? So every time I came back to my unit, I would have another room. So on the 3rd time waiting to get out, you know, for my bail, I was able to watch all the people coming off the train station, coming to visit people. I was able to see the Museum of Science. I was able to see the outside world, you know, and, you know, it's so funny how you can be behind this much of glass, you know, for being in jail and freedom and seeing everybody come and go. But while I was waiting, my girlfriend at the time, well, what happened? I had a good friend of mine, his name was Mike as well. I thought he was a good friend. He was trying to help out, raise some money to get me bailed out. Now, he was a little older than me. I was 21 years old. He was probably around 30. Give or take, not sure. My girlfriend as well was older than I was. She was a couple years older. So me being 21, she was probably about 24. I think she was 3 years older, either 2 or 3 years older. Now, them two, they knew each other. But when I would call, you know, you have to call collect, you know, my buddy would answer the phone. He goes, Mike, you have to get out of jail. You have to get out of jail. I'm like, yeah, no shit, I have to get out of jail. He's like, no, you don't understand. I'm falling in love with your girlfriend. I was like, what are you talking about? To find out, because they would hang out, talk about me, all of a sudden, she's going over his house, cooking him dinner, because one, he's a bachelor, and me being at his house before, we used to party. His house is a mess. He didn't do anything for himself. He didn't cook, he didn't clean, he didn't do any of that shit. So there's my girlfriend helping out. How nice of her. I don't know if anything actually happened. I'll never know, probably, if something did happen. I don't know. I just don't know. So, yeah, so I had that going on while dealing with this lawyer. Now, this lawyer that I had, his name is John McBride. And a few minutes ago, before I started this video, I was going to pull up a picture to show you what it looked like. He was a very high-end, successful lawyer. And when you went to his office, it was right there downtown Boston. You go up several floors in this building, looking over the Boston skyline. And there he is, sitting there like a pompous asshole with his big mustache, his slicked back hair, thinking that he's the shit. Well, he was the shit. You know what I mean? He had this big office and his name was very well known. And he wanted 15 grand. 15 grand for me. I don't have that type of money. So I was able to pay him a little at a time, Every time I went to visit him, cash. There you go. I got up to $10,000 with him. And we're going to talk about more of that later. But real quick, when I went to Google his name today, John McBride, former Boston area criminal defense attorney John McBride has been sentenced to 2 years in prison in connection with recording fraudulent tax lien releases on multi-million-dollar homes in Marblehead and Martha's Vineyard. This guy was so successful, he had multiple homes, of course. The 66-year-old was sentenced Tuesday on 2 years of supervised release in order to pay restitution, the amount of which has yet to be determined. He pleaded guilty in January to charges of obstruction and impeding the Internal Revenue Service and bank fraud. Federal prosecutors alleged that in 2008, McBride recorded 6 fraudulent federal tax lien releases against a Marblehead property in order to obtain a loan and rob the IRS of nearly $700,000 secured interest. He tried unsuccessfully to do something similar with his second home in Edgartown, they said. In 2011, he attempted to obtain a $387,000 reverse mortgage loan from Bank of America, which was to have been secured by his Edgartown property. According to prosecutors, McBride allegedly misrepresented the bank that there was no liens on the property and there was not then in bankruptcy. Prosecutors had pushed for a sentence of 57 months, arguing that McBride had caused $640,000 loss to the IRS and committed the crimes, even though he had every opportunity to afford him, namely a stable upbringing, a family life, and educated at UMass Boston and New England School of Law, and had a very successful and lucrative law practice. McBride's attorney, a public defender, maintained that the IRS suffered no actual loss and that the court should consider that McBride served as caregiver to his wife and that he has little assets. McBride was disbarred in 2007 for stealing clients' funds, according to court documents. So I knew he was shady. Now we know he's shady. Fucking a piece of shit that steals from his clients and gets away with trying to steal $700,000, and I'm the asshole that goes to jail for fucking 5 years, 3 months. All right? That's what happens with the fucking court systems in America. All right? They set you up for failure, and then you get a successful asshole like him that has all the money in the world and he's trying to rob the fucking IRS and banks. And he only gets 2 years of supervised fucking jail time? That's bullshit. All right. That rant's over. So, I do get out of jail, finally. The girlfriend, not there no more because she didn't think I was ever coming home. Now my buddy, we weren't so friendly after that because there was no trust there anymore. You know what I mean? There was nothing there for trust. Whether or not he did something or not, or he was just being friendly, whatever. I just didn't feel comfortable being around them anymore. So, what's a guy supposed to do? Well, I got a sick mom. I have 10 years hanging over my head. I have an ex-girlfriend that fucked me over. I have money that I have to pay back my friends for helping me get a lawyer, and I sold a car to actually get myself bailed out. So I come out with no money again. So I still have to sell drugs to make a living. That's what I do. That's what I did. I have to do that. What am I going to do? I'm going to prison. So I got to sell my shit to make some money, to pay off my bills. I do so. Funny thing is, now I'm actually making more money. You know what I mean? I'm starting to make even more money. I'm out on bail. Just doing my thing and going to my court dates. This is going to take a little while. They have to do all the, whatever they got to do for the courts. And I get back with the girlfriend. Yeah, I get back with the girlfriend. And I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but I did. Young, stupid. And no, I did not. I'm sorry, I did not. I did not get back with the girlfriend. I did not get back with the girlfriend. So what happened was, while I was waiting to go to court, I know I'm going to jail. Okay? So what does a bright 21-year-old do that ready to go to jail? He buys a motorcycle. I bought a motorcycle. I bought a Ninja 1986 Ninja 600R in the RMet race, and I was having a good time on my motorcycle. And I went to a party, a graduation party. My friend, his girlfriend, it was his girlfriend's family party, and I had her hot cousin on the back of my bike for most of the night. And I was supposed to pick her up and drive her around later on, but now it's getting dark out. And I said, I'm going to go to the bar. I'm going to meet up with my friends. So I'm driving around. I get up to a set of lights. And that's it for today, guys. Today's video, that's it. You're going to have to wait until part 4. This video come up, part 4 gets better. I promise. I'm sorry that I waited an extra week or so because I had a busy week. I put up like 5 videos. It was my birthday, my cat's birthday. You see those videos, and I went to Maine. I bought a new computer Wednesday with Dr. Peter Picoco, my mentor, and I got to learn the iMac. That thing is incredible versus what I've been using for the past 3 years or so. This piece of junk, ASUS. It fit my needs, what I needed it for at the time. I went from driving a 1977 Pinto to the space shuttle. Now I gotta learn all that new stuff, and it's gonna take me some time. But I'm willing to learn and can't wait to make better videos. So until the next video, everybody, I promise it won't be 2 more weeks, it will be next week. I will get to part number 4. Things get interesting. Okay? So until the next video, everybody, have a great night. Baldadonis out.